It is the last Friday in 2018, and with 3 more days left before we enter 2019, let's tell you what's happening today. Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu, while performing the duties of head of state, swore in several mayors and deputy mayors today in the credentials room at the Ministry of the Presidency. Here's our first report. After administering the oath of office, the acting head of state encouraged the newly elected mayors and deputy mayors to work closely with central government to enhance their townships.
You depend for subvention, for support in many ways. And some of the areas that you would be managing as township, they border on areas that are controlled by central government, so that you have to work with your central government to promote those programs that you have, whether it is to improve your cemetery, burial grounds, to improve bridges, roads, drainage facilities. These are all things that you would need to cooperate with the government of the day.
Prime Minister Nagamutu stated that having a town council in every administrative region decentralizes governing at the community level and allows for the strengthening of local democracy.
Having towns with town councils would allow you to have these functions done at the local level. And this strengthens the concept of grassroots democracy, even for now at the level of the municipalities, with you being mayors and deputy mayors.
He also urged the elected officials to never underestimate the importance of their respective townships. The Prime Minister remarked that the new batch of mayors and deputy mayors reflects Guyana's rich strands of diversity and ethnicity. The Prime Minister also addressed the no-confidence motion. Here is that report.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu today said that the Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Barton Scotland, will have to review allegations that a vote by former Member of Parliament Charandas Prasad was procured by unlawful means.
If a vote in the National Assembly was procured by unlawful means to overthrow an elected government, constitutionally elected government, that would have serious implications. And the Speaker would have to address that issue. If you had a Member of Parliament who knew that he had lost confidence in his party or in his slate, he should have indicated to the House that he no longer was going to support his slate and he wants to endorse another slate, so that the House would know how to deal with that situation.
The Prime Minister explained that the Speaker will also have to consider whether a simple 33 or absolute 34 votes were needed for the motion to be carried.
The formula has been 1/2 plus 1. So if you have 64 members of the Parliament, your 1/2 would be 32, and a majority will be add 1, 33. How come do you have 33 as a majority for 65, unless you can prove that 64 is equal to 65? So you can see that it's already, when you look at it, is producing an absurd conclusion. And the Constitution would have never contemplated the creation of an absurdity.
A no-confidence motion brought by the opposition was passed in the National Assembly last Friday after government backbencher Charandas Prasad voted with the People's Progressive Party. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
In our next report, the newly accredited officials outlined their plans on the way forward for their respective townships in 2019. Alexis Rodney tells us more.
The Mayor of Madhya, David Adams, and Mayor of Georgetown, Pandit Yubraj Narain, have both pledged to work together with all parties in the best interest of their respective towns.
But there is many vision, but until I take office, which will be the 1st of January, automatically will be the 2nd, because the 1st is a holiday. I will scrutinize the council phase by phase, then I will be able to execute my vision the way forward.
There's lots of work to be done. We are new. We are at the infant stage. And so therefore, I look forward with optimism to doing an excellent job for the township of Madja over the next 12 months.
Winifred Haywood, Gifford Marshall, and Winika Arundel returned as mayors of New Amsterdam, Partica, and Linden, respectively. They each promised to continue the work that they have started in their respective towns.
Already we have started doing some work with our roads. We have started looking at our drains. But we would like to ensure that we looked at our outfall, because even though we look at the drains, the outfall, if that is now cleared, well, then it would be hard for the water to be going out. At the moment, we are looking at electrifying the area, especially on the roads.
The last 2.5 years, our accomplishments, I would say, was good. We achieved a lot, but we're still not satisfied with what we would have achieved. So I think this is an opportunity for us to build on what the foundation that was laid over the last 2.5 years.
The council would have started a couple of projects prior that we need to, of course, continue to work with. We have our twinning city project. We have 2 cities to twin with. And why twinning is important, it lends so much into your township. It lends sharing of education, it lends sharing of resources, and it helps to develop your township. And so the twinning with Stonecrest and Newark, New Jersey is going to continue. We're also moving, of course, to change the aesthetics of Linden. We want Linden to become a beautiful town.
Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Today, we took our cameras into the streets to get the views of citizens on the recent no-confidence motion and the country going to the polls before 2020.
On December 21st, the 111th sitting of the National Assembly of the 11th Parliament saw the members voting on a no-confidence motion filed against the government. The motion, which was filed by the opposition, saw its 32 members voting in favour. However, to the surprise of many, a member on the government side of the House also voted in favour of the motion, while the remaining members voted against it. This resulted in the Speaker of the House indicating that the motion was passed. How does the population feel about what transpired in the Parliament? We put this question to the man in the street, specifically in downtown Georgetown. Many persons expressed their views that the coalition administration performed well thus far, however believed its time at the helm was too short.
I don't think the ruling party should be scared of election. I don't think so. If they're doing excellent well here in Guyana, why not go to the polls? And I'm quite sure if they're confident, then back into power. And instead of 2 or 3 years, they're going to have about 8 years, more. Guyana is a rich, rich place. I've went to many countries. And Guyana, it's my home, and I know there is no bad time that is coming.
This government, I won't condemn them. I said they're trying, it's just that they need a little more time to get certain things in place and they, get certain things in stream. They had enough time for we said, well, we ain't got no confidence, they barely going 3 years.
Well, the government doing a good job, it should get next chance,
Citizens also feel that an election in 3 months is too short.
We should never fatigue ourselves in the system now. Let me wait till the man complete the other 3 years or whatsoever and wait till 2020, then make a complete. Everybody go to the poll for we vote back, right? It makes no sense that we fatigue ourselves and waste a lot of money for go back in another voting election in the next 90 days. It makes no sense.
No, you still need a little more time, Just too quick, Make all the preparation, Too quick.
Reporting for InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
Still to come, Ministry of Public Health gets donation from Government of China, and Infrastructure Minister reveals road development plans for 2019. Stay with us. Welcome back. Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson spoke with InfoHub's Felicia Valenzuela about government's road plans for the new year. Here is her report.
If your community has been named, expect your roads to be done. This is the promise from Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson. From 2019, some $2.9 billion will be spent on miscellaneous and urban roads in the 10 township and neighborhood democratic councils throughout the country. Minister Patterson says the project will be fully rolled out in January.
Well, I'm launching my roads project. It's going to be launched from this Sunday. I'm going out to ads. I want by end of January all the roads that I would have had to be bidded and tendered, and then we'll do put our lights. And then I develop the bigger projects. But the initial thing is to do my roads. There's a promise I made. It's now urgent because people are worried that I wouldn't keep my promise, but I will guarantee them. I can say to you, I'll keep my promise. If you heard your neighborhood, you know for sure it will be done in 2019.
Some of the communities to benefit include Lima Sands in Sadian Region 2, South Rhineveld Gardens and Park, Lodge, East and West Rhineveld, Alboystown, Charlestown, Agricola in Region 4, Angois Avenue, Hopetown in Region 6, Madya in Region 8, Letham in Region 9, Mabaruma Region 1 and Parika Goshen Road in Region 2. A total of $2 billion will also be invested in the hinterland on the construction, rehabilitation and maintenance of several roads, dams and the trails. Reporting for InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
The government of China today donated over $28 million in pharmaceuticals and medical equipment to the Georgetown Public Hospital. Delicia Haynes has our final report for today.
This donation is part of an annual practice by each Chinese medical team assigned to Guyana. The drugs, equipment, and medical supplies handed over are valued at exactly $28,230,715 Guyana dollars. Minister of Public Health Valda Lawrence, who received the donation, said that over the years, the generous contributions made by the Chinese government has resulted in notable improvement to services at Guyana's premier health institution.
Today, we once again witness the deepening and strengthening of the relationship between our two peoples through the donation of medical equipment and pharmaceuticals to our premier referral hospital by the 14th Chinese Medical Brigade. Suffice to say that this donation will impact significantly on the quality of service that our referral hospital will be in a position to offer to our citizens.
Each Chinese medical brigade spends 1 year in Guyana and consists of medical specialists. They work closely with local medical staff to provide training and exposure to specialized services which are of great benefit to Guyanese. Chief Executive Officer of the GPHC, retired Brigadier George Lewis, highlights this fact.
The equipment that will be donated today is particularly important to us at the Georgetown Public Hospital since it will assist us in the delivery of better health care to our patients. Collaboration between the two governments in the past have seen the deployment of doctors and other medical personnel to Guyana to provide specialized medical care to our population.
Head of the 14th Chinese Medical Brigade, Dr. Shen Jiangsun, also noted that the Medical Brigade to Guyana has thus far done successful work with local general surgeons and medical staff. The contribution is expected to extend the services of the brigade in the most efficient manner. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
Your green tip for today: when planning your Old Year's Night event, skip the paper invitations. An electronic invite is a great way to get the message out, and you can create a customized invitation. That's all for this evening. Connect with us on our social media and visit our website at dpi.gov.gy for more stories. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend, and remember, if you're going to consume alcohol, ensure you have a designated driver. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.